Alright, everybody, welcome back to another Eurovision ranking video. So yes, this is going to be autistic edition, because I'm autistic. I've been that since last Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday of 2009. I didn't take it seriously until I was like 18. So I've been in the games for like 13 years soon enough. And I do really feel like, going from this autistic perspective, I definitely do support and love this contest, and I will continue doing that despite what's going on. So I will be doing a ranking of every song of the 2009 edition of Eurovision Song Contest. So I have 42 entries, and I will be going through them on a tier list just for you guys. Alright, let's kick this list off by talking about the very first semi-final, and I done some damage control already. So the first entry to talk about is going to be Is It True with Johanna. This became a massive radio hit in Sweden at the time. My mom knows about this, and she doesn't listen to Eurovision music that much. So I will actually give this a B tier. I'm tired of it, much like a lot of other people, but I don't really think it's bad. Now, something else not bad is actually going to be Germany. Miss Kiss Kiss Bang. Because Alex swings, Oscar sings, I think, something along them lines. A lot of Germans hate this entry. I actually think it's quite decent. He sings it extremely well. He performs the fuck out of it. And he's definitely a Eurovision daddy. Now, he hasn't come back to this contest ever since. I don't really think he has much interest in doing so. This is quite honestly one of these entries that should be talked about more, but it is not. Actually, I would give this a controversial A tier. Now, yeah, you can think about it whatever you want. This is my list. Speaking of my list, it's Malta Chiara with What If We actually sent any decent entry. Yeah, this is not one of the weakest. It's a mid-tempo ballad. She sings it excellently, but I would say she gained more praise and more like ovation back in 2005 when she first competed. You can tell that the Maltese was just wanted to pick a recipe for success, or so they thought, because she had come second place twice. And third time's the charm, they say, but this wasn't really meant to be. Now, she did sing it well, but that's not enough. A D tier for this. I'm so sorry, but that is just what I think. Speaking of what I think, let's talk about, let's see, Turkey. Always on my mind, always in my heart. This one is a classic for sure. A lot of Eurovision fans like this song. It's really prominent on Eurovision parties, and I definitely understand. It's definitely has that lyric that I just sang. It has something going for it. It stands out. Now, do I think it stands out in a way where it's like a classic? Yes, not much for me, but out of respect, I'm giving this a B tier. That's fair, right? Alright, let's talk about the next entry. Next time for North Macedonia, Nesto Stokia Ustane. They were playing electric guitar on stage. They had a real bromance. I love bromance entries. That is like bro dude songs, as I want to call them. When you are just two dudes vibing on stage together. I love this one performance. They're having fun. I haven't heard the song. I only seen it live. And live enough gives it a B tier. Because of the fact that I can't really judge this based on the studio track. I'm only judging this based around live. But sad fact, they actually did place 10th with the televote. Well, when it was televoting only. And they would actually have qualified at 10th place with it. But due to a jury vote where they chose the last finalist, they didn't qualify. Instead, a different country did so. So yeah, I definitely am a bit disappointed that they didn't. They deserved it. And nowadays, North Macedonia qualifying. They maybe will for 2027. They're going to continue to return to the contest, as far as I know. Alright, so we're next up. We're moving on to Bosnia and Herzegovina, Regina with Bistra Voda. This is one of these songs that I'm not the biggest fan of. Now, I am actually a fan of the performance. If I want to actually do anything with that, I'll watch that. It's really
It's really majestic. They perform it well, and the vocalist, the singer, yeah, he's quite decent. Now, do I think it's like amazing as a studio track? Not really, since it's such a long instrumental. But live, it's an A tier. So D tier, C, B tier is about fair, right? Speaking of fair, it's time for Czechia, the last Czech entry for 3 consecutive years. They withdrew after this due to a lack of interest and just lack of good results. Uh, I appreciate this, but unlike ESC Gabe, I don't appreciate it in a way where it resonates with me. It's just okay. And that is what I will give this an okay D tier. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of a correction. I'm going to move Turkey at A tier and then move Azerbaijan to B tier. I, for some reason, just mixed Turkey and Azerbaijan up, but I just sort of expect because of the fact they both have a moon in their in the country's flag. So yeah, Doom Tech, a big hit this year, an absolute classic. Turkey, when they left, they sort of left a hole that hasn't been filled as of yet. That is like the 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 oriental, not the cultural dance pop with 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 traditional instruments. So yeah, A tier, definitely no doubt. All right, this is next up. We're talking about Andrea Dermucevic. Just get out of my life. Uh, this is actually one of my favorite Montenegrin entries out there. It's not really like moving the needle. It doesn't innovate, but it doesn't really try to. It's just well performed. She does it really well. It's kind of poor, but it's just generic. But sadly, generic enough where it's lower down to a C tier. She did perform it well, but sadly, not well enough. The fact is, this was random running order, so sadly, this couldn't really be excused that the producer be like, this isn't really going to work. It was randomized. So yeah, I'm sorry for her, but I hope she's well. All right, now we're talking about a love song montage. Now that we are moving on to talk about uh where's Andorra? Anyway, we're coming back to Andorra soon enough. But let's actually talk about Sweden. Malena Anma with La Voix. So I like this song actually. It's a really big shame that Malena isn't really seen as a Eurovision contestant. She's seen as the mother of Greta Thunberg. And it's a real shame. I very much appreciate La Voix. Now, do I think it's a great entry? No. Do I think it's a good entry? Yes. A tier. Absolutely nothing else. All right, here we have it. It is Andorra. This is like Susanne Georgie. She's Danish, and so she represented Andorra. This is their first. This is actually their most recent entry. I'm saying recent because I do think they're going to return to the contest at some point. So yeah, it's happy, it's carefree. B tier actually. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right. Next up. Wait. I'm gonna talk about this later. Anyway, the Warbit, Love Bugs. It's the highest heights. A really decent radio song performed really poorly live. D tier. Absolutely no question about it. Belgium, Copycat with Copycat. This is, I think, if I remember right, the Belgian Elvis Association basically called the EBU to have their entry be disqualified. It's a big disgrace. They sort of lasted between 2007 to 2009, and it's like a really sad time for them. Now, do I like this song? Yes. Do I think it deserves a lot higher placement? No. It's a really strong year, but I giving this a B tier because I actually think it's kind of fun to listen to. All right, this is like the jury wild card for this semi. It's Finland, all those people with lose control. Now, do I lose control over this? No. I think it's kind of a train wreck, but detail. Anyway, so I'm going to place this Malta like that. There we go. Now it's right. Now you're probably thinking like, why am I mixing things up? Because of the fact that many of these flags just look very similar when they're smaller. So now we know. So anyway, I will actually be moving on to Belarus. Petre Elfemo with Eyes That Never Lie. I love this entry. It's classic rock. I don't really care about the situation there. I love this entry. He performs it well. He's really annoying to work with. And fun fact, I think like the commentators in the Swedish during Eurovision week said, well, I want to I want to throw a bucket of paint at him. Funny, yeah. S tier for the song, D tier for the performance, A tier, and this is like a Steadicam performance, which many people come back to. Anyway, Portugal, S tier. I love this entry so much. Not only is Daniela really, really adorable and cute, I want to give her a hug. She performed it really well. She had fun on stage, and they are just really wholesome people. Now, this is a Portuguese entry that I want them to send. I love it. I love it. It's so traditional, but it's like traditional in a decent manner. I don't really like it. I don't really like their entry this year because there wasn't really that much bromance. So we have no reason to not like them. So I'm giving them an S tier. All right, Bulgaria, Illusion, Krasimir Avramov. Yeah, this is like a train wreck. Do I think it's a good train wreck? Yes, but do I like it? No. D tier. This is like a typical dance pop entry at the time. It was a male one. It was kind of rare to see male dance pop entries. You know what? I'm going to be generous and move it to a C tier. Because, well, I'm a generous guy. All right, let's see. Do we have any? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's see. Do we have another one? Yes, we do have one final entry, I think. It's Armenia. It's Ingananush Janjan. S tier. I love this song. It's one of those instrumentals that I can actually listen to in the studio and enjoy it. There's absolutely no reason to place it on S tier. They perform the heck out of it. And Ingananush, if you live in Sweden, it's kind of fun to pronounce that name. We have no reason to place them on anything other than an S tier. All right. We have one final entry from first semifinal. That is Iceland. Johanna with the song Is It True? Now, is it true that they did well in the contest this year? Yeah, wait, a B tier. Is it Bulgaria, Macedonia, Romania? Yeah, now we have one final entry on this list, and that is Romania. The Balkan Girls. It's really repetitive and flat, but yeah, it has good performance, but it's really flat. You have to really have immense stage presence in order to actually deliver something worth loving on stage. All right, so I think that is over for the first and for the entries of the first semifinal. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, I think, yeah, I included Germany as well. You know what? Why not just include France as well? Because of the fact that they are voting. So anyway, Patricia Kaz, C tier. And then we're going to the host nation. It is anyway, yeah, Anastasia. I love this. I think the song is decent. I like this song. But do I love it? No. Do I think it's decent? Yes. You know what, C tier. Because the thing is, the performance creeps me out, and that is something that a lot of people has actually said about it. And so, yeah, I think that was everything from the first semifinal. I am coming back to it if that's the case. All right, let's talk about semifinal 2. You know what? Let's begin this with Ireland. It's Sinead Mulvey and Black Daisy, etc. Female rock, and I like that. Do I think it deserves to win? No. But they came 11th in the semi, so you cannot really say that they didn't really try. Now, do I think it deserves a higher placement? Well, B tier. That's about it. All right, Greece, Sakis Rouvas. This is our night. This is certainly our night to shine. This is Greek pop. Now, this is a generic pop entry, which was criticized at the time for Greece. This would actually finish 4th place with the televote only grand final, but they scrapped it for 2009. So I think they took like 14th or 17th place with the jury. With the public, well, they took they took 4th place. So I think like one was like 7th. So I think it was like 120 points to 7th place. So yeah, this is like a generic pop entry, but he performs the heck out of it. I can hardly hear him sing in the grand final. But S tier, nothing to worry about. Alright, let's move on to Moldova. Hora din Moldova with Nelly. Hora, it's really funny to hear in Swedish. Eurovision entry that actually named Hora. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, Google it yourself. Let's see here. This is sadly just a C tier because I don't really think the song is that great. This is once again one of these songs that has like a very long instrumental. It works for Eurovision if you have a strong performance, but well, this one barely had much. So yeah, I'm sorry, this didn't really do much for me. The Netherlands, the Shine with the Toppers. I do know that a lot of people really respected this entry, and I respect it as well. It has a message: get your shit together and let's save the world. Act upon it, and yeah, we definitely do need something like that. But as an overall song, I think it's like repetitive, annoying. But there's a disc jockey on stage. She's amazing, and so you know what? I can actually be generous and place that D tier because the performance itself with the LEDs has like lots of silver. They're dressed in silver. It's not that great of a performance, but they do it well. She does it well. D tier. Anyway, Norway. Now this is going to be a bit controversial, but I'm actually not a big fan of this song. It's just kind of, you know what? It does get stuck in your mind. I don't like it, but you know what? A B class because I think it's okay. All right, let's talk about Igor Kukorov featuring Andrea for Croatia. They were the jury wildcard in the second semifinal. They took 13th place with 33 points. So I appreciate that. Do I think it's a decent entry? I mean, no, I don't. But I very much respect it. All right, let's talk about Casey Tola for Albania with Carry Me in Your Dreams. I actually listened to it. It's not that bad. It's kind of like In Class of Montenegro, and I gave that a C tier. But this one I will give C tier as well because I think it's decent. All right, Lithuania, Sasha Sol with Love. It's flat. It doesn't really ring a bell, but it's okay. C tier. Spain, they did the extremely Spanish thing and had a pop entry, which is performed the fuck out of it. But you know what? Everything about that makes a B tier. All right. What happens when you take a 2-minute instrumental, then realize that you actually need lyrics? You get the Slovenian entry. It's called, let's see here, Quartissimo Finche Martina, Love Symphony. Do I love Symphony? I actually respect it enough to put it at a B tier because it's not that bad. It's kind of a nice instrumental, but it should have just been a CD track instead of a Eurovision entry. Okay, Bropka with Intaj Latvia. A tier. I love this entry. It's just so incredibly chaotic, but it's like a lot of fun to listen to. All right, Cyprus, a musical entry. I don't really like this one, but I respect it, but not really something I like. C tier. All right, Serbia. The song is called Shoes, and shoes is kind of an interesting topic to sing. Now, this is sadly where the Serbian golden age ended. They did qualify with the televote at 10th place, but they missed the final because of the jury wildcard. Now, do I like this entry? I mean, it's kind of catchy. It does stand out slightly bit. He doesn't really have that big shoes, but he does have a big afro, and I appreciate that. So overall, I'm giving the Serbian entry a B tier. Okay, Slovakia, a typical ballad, C tier. It doesn't really move the needle. All right. You know what? Speaking of moving the needle, Ranjidad with Love Symphony. I like this entry a lot. S tier. I get a feeling about it. Denmark, A tier. This one is not really a classic, but it is very much a respectable entry. So I do think I have sort of messed some things up, but I don't really know if I actually have. But anyway, I don't want to leave. I like this one fine. It's kind of like Candlelight from Hungary 2008. And it's fine. Okay, Be My Valentine. This is like one of these where I'm sort of shocked that is such a forgotten entry. It kicks ass. She's amazing on stage. So you know what? I will actually place this at an A tier. It deserves it. All right, let's see. We are beginning to run out of countries to talk about. Hungary. Yeah. Let's see here. It's Dance With Me. Hungary. I give it to say B tier. Ireland. A B tier as well. So I'm beginning to run out of countries to talk about. Now, yeah. UK, My Time, a classic to a lot of Eurovision fans because of the fact that it is the highest placed country in the entire shows in the UK Eurovision history. Okay, I'm just going to count just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. All right, yeah, I have actually gone through, I think, all of the entries from Eurovision Song Contest 2009. So, what did you think about this list? Do you agree with me or not? Regardless of what, I hope to see your lists down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.